Yo, what is up, man? It's your boy, Damn D, POV, and I'm here to give you my point of view of KB going off on Kendrick, Perkins, and Stephen A. Smith. Now, we all know how I feel. Well, we all know how everybody feels about Stephen A. Smith. I mean, there's nothing that I haven't said already that y'all don't know about. If y'all new to the channel, in the words of KB, these two are some weak weasels. All right, they some buck dancing house Negroes, and once again, they always pay the black man to attack another black man because they cannot say what they want to say, what they truly want to say on TV. So they hire these house Negroes like these two individuals right here. And what's really sad is that you would think, hold on. What's really sad is you would think a former athlete, as far as Kendrick Perkins, you would think he would treat Kyrie with a little bit more respect because he's a former athlete, NBA player himself. And I'm sure that he has had analysts and news reporters report on him falsely and say negative and harsh things about Kendrick Perkins. So it's sad to see that former NBA athletes doing the same thing that reporters was doing to them. You would think they would try to shift the angles of how you talk about professional athletes, but look like buck dancing Kendrick Perkins might be trying to replace Stephen A. Smith whenever he retired. So that might be the move. But let's listen to KB roast these two weak weasels. Let's get it.
Bubblegum shrimp. Hot and spicy shrimp. How y'all doing? Bubblegum shrimp. Sweet and sour shrimp. Oh, how y'all doing out here tonight?
Stephen A. Smith, boy.
It's been a long day for a bus.
Talk to him, KB. Talk to him.
It's been a long day for a bus. Stephen A. Weasel. Oh, yeah. This weasel is back at it again.
As usual.
Lowering contracts, running his mouth, bumping his gum about things he don't know about.
As usual.
Yes, Stephen A. Smith is back.
Mm-hmm.
The best friend to all white men, even the ones that slap the heck out their wife. Stephen A. is their best friend.
Yep.
My brother that just want to trade, well, he's idiotic.
Hilarious, right?
Even Steven. The brother man is eating. I'm over here eating good, y'all. Got stuff all in my teeth. Here, Weasel. I've been telling y'all, this is the reason why this guy gets paid.
Exactly.
I mean, it's irrefutable evidence at this point. We got him and Perk, big fat dribble lip. We got him and Perk. Him and Perk on the docket. I'm talking about Perk mush mouth self. It's not after 2 minutes. Perk mush mouth self. It's like, dang, dude. Why do these guys speak like this? By no means of the imagination is Perk anywhere near Kyrie Irving, and not to say he has to be anywhere near him to have an opinion. But if you're gonna have a bold opinion like that, if you're gonna have a bold opinion to say what these guys saying, like, come on now we're gonna have to measure you against a man based on the way you talk.
Exactly.
And that's what these guys don't get. I can see if this man make a decision on his own for his family. And Brother Perkins, I want to say this to you, Brother Perkins. Since I've cleaned this page up, and I'm not trying to curse as much, all this other good stuff. Let me speak to you for a second, big fella.
Talk to him.
You remember that time when there was a scare with your job? The first thing you said was, I'm concerned with my wife and my kids and my family.
How quick do they forget?
You said my responsibility is my wife and my family.
How quick do they forget?
Give this take on Kyrie Irving, right? You tied him to a teammate.
It's completely different.
His family.
It's completely different.
Is it him and Kevin Durant supposed to be lockstep? You know, basically a get along game.
Yep.
You're asking a grown man with a wife, a family, and children of his own And the same thing you want for yourself. We just saw this already with Stephen Curry.
Yep.
The same thing you want for yourself and your wife and your family is not the same thing you preach for Kyrie Irving. And I just don't know why. Every time somebody called Kendrick Perkins' name and called you into question, the first thing you talked about was your wife and your family and things like that. We got you on video saying, my responsibility is my wife and my family.
Well,
why can't you give Kyrie Irving that same respect? Why you got to tie?
That's because he's trying to replace Stephen A. Smith whenever he retires. So he's just trying to follow the footsteps of the head house Negro in charge right now.
Him to a teammate. Why you got to tie him to another man over his wife, over his children? You think this man is not supposed to make the decision that he's making with all that he's gone through? The takes that you guys want to give on Kyrie Irving is that he calls this upon himself. So he calls the pandemic. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
He calls the pandemic.
Exactly.
He calls New York to make it against the New York City to play, but everybody else could play. Kyrie Irving caused all this. That's what you're saying. Because he didn't want to put something in his personal body that he's in control of. You know, his body, his choice. If he was aborting a baby, he'd have more rights. But because he didn't want to do something with his body when nobody else is dying, then it's a big problem.
Yep.
Then it seemed to be a big problem.
As usual.
This makes no sense. This makes no sense. You got all these guys reacting to a grown man. When LeBron James traveled and moved and he did what he wanted to do, you didn't hear Stephen A. bashing him. Stephen A., why do you come out and bash Kyrie so much? You say, I would not talk about another brother's opinion. When it was coming with Dana White, it was coming with all these other people.
He didn't say nothing.
You're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
He ain't say
nothing. You're not going to judge
nothing.
nobody for their individual thoughts. That's what you said. You said, who are you to judge somebody for their thoughts, their opinion? You judge everybody. Now you're judging Kyrie for him wanting to go to another team. He feels that this team hung him out to dry. And he has very good reason to feel so. Played out his behind. And you still got something negative to say. You bubblegum shrimp looking mother trucker, you. Soon as Dana White, you start off talking about your black brethren as idiotic. You said, idiotic. Let me get that out the way. Idiotic. When you spoke of Dana White, you said, let me get this out the way. He my friend. See, first and foremost, I want to say Dana White is my friend. First and foremost, Jerry Jones is my friend.
But the first thing he says about Kyrie is that he's idiotic. That's the first thing he said about Kyrie. But when it comes to Jerry Jones and Dana White, the first thing he want to say is, they're my friends.
Jerry Jones don't deserve this. But Kyrie Irving deserved this. As well as this young man played, you saying he deserved your scrutiny?
That's sad.
As much as this man endured, just not wanting to put something in his own body. Do you know that's the mark of being a man? This man stood alone. When everybody else said yes, he said no. If you ever want to know what a man is, that's what a man is. A man will stand alone. If a man feels convicted about what he believes in, this is why they do not like men. This is why they want to eradicate men and call them toxic. Despite money. How many women you know that you can tell you're going to lose $10, $20 million? You're going to lose a shoe contract that they're going to say, I'm going to still do this. How many men you know that you can tell them you're going to lose $10, $20, $30 million and they're going to still say, I feel convicted by what I said and my beliefs. This is why they hate real men. You can't be bought. They can't be sold. They're not going.
Exactly.
They do not like the Kyrie Irvings. They like the ones that'll do this right here. They like these kind of men.
Hold up. I think about to play a song. Yeah,
My car insurance company didn't want.
I ain't about to play that song. But everything what KB is saying is right. I'm sorry. I mean nice. But everything what KB is saying is right. You know what I mean? People like Kyrie, they hate people like Kyrie because he cannot be controlled by money. Money doesn't move Kyrie, right? Kyrie knows who he is and what he stands for. So Kyrie lost a Nike endorsement, Nike deal, shoes, money, endorsements, and he still stood his ground. How many of y'all would do that? Not too many. Not too many.
Let's break down what Bubblegum Trump said, because I think it's It's crazy, man, the hypocrisy and how this guy, this is the guy. This is the half a Q-Dog.
That guy right there.
Who, loves black people. He respects all his brothers. Why did you go to them colleges, boy? He had to go to them colleges. You know why he went to them colleges? He was telling on black folks. He told on the coach. He was telling on every nigga that was late to practice. Man, he was telling on nigga that had girls come to the dorm. That nigga was just telling. I think I snapped. I think this nigga just made a career off telling.
Right.
This man just made a career off telling. But look at the way, I just want to point out, this is a reactionary video. YouTube, fair use. Let me put the fair use sign up. I want to be protected under fair use. Let me put a little song up. I just think this guy is just, he's a real life loser who figured out a lane to get paid for doing the dirty work, if you will. He's found a way to make money off doing that. Over on YouTube, I'm on cable TV. So here's what I did. I wanted to make sure that a grown man who's 41 years old, saying some of the things that he said, he was both disgusted at me for playing it, but he was disgusted at another grown man for saying it. He was uncomfortable. It made his soul hurt to hear a grown man talk like that. It's no good. But see, you're the type of weak beta male. He's arguing with his.
All right, we gotta skip that part because KB going in on one of his detractors in the chat. Let's just skip a little bit more.
Oh, they ain't hitting that like button. I don't know you, so I won't waste time beefing with you. Yeah, he praised Biden with the same. Next month, my birthday is March, and what he's actually saying. So
here we go.
Let's hear Stephen A. Smith how he started.
We think of this trade request.
Idiotic. Let's get that out of the way. Here's a guy in Kyrie Irving that for the last 3 years, who's gotten most of his money, but missed more than 50% of his games. Enters the last year after this offseason. Obviously, the situation that he got himself into earlier this year was unfortunate, but he resurrected himself from that. Was playing spectacular basketball, leading both together amongst guards for the All-Star game, playing outstanding basketball and reminding everybody what an absolute flat-out superstar basketball player he is. No one questioned that. All we ever questioned was, can the man go the rest of the season without being any kind of distraction if he's going to have a chance to get his money? And lo and behold, he pulls this. And why? Because the Brooklyn Net had the temerity, the unmitigated goal, to say, play the season. We'll see. Because we haven't had you for a full season without any drama. And here he is again. For a guy that's looking for a long-term deal from another team, there is no question about what you're getting when Kyrie Irving is on the basketball court. The only question mark regarding him is his commitment to not being a distraction and to going out there and performing. And the fact that he's made headlines with this, all it did was serve to remind everybody out there he's spectacular. We'd love to have him in our uniform so long as we don't have to make a long-term investment in him because he cannot be trusted. He just reminded the basketball world of that.
So, Stephen A., if you're a GM for some of the teams that we've talked about that have the space to trade for Kyrie Irving, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Heat, as some of those teams, would you do it? Would you make that deal?
It depends on what I'm getting rid of in return for his services. If I'm getting a superior basketball player, and in the midst of all of that, I'm getting rid of players and contracts that I don't want on my docket, sure. But that's entirely different, Malika, than making a long-term commitment in him.
Why is he talking like he the GM? Ain't you supposed to be analyzing the sport, the game, on what they do on the court? But you analyzing this man's contract, how much money he should get, how long his deal should be. You ain't a GM. You're not a GM advisor. You're a sports analyst. You're supposed to give your expert analysis on the actual basketball game. Why do we hear you talk about people's personal life more than the actual game itself?
Because you're not obligated to do that just because you trade for him. He can talk about where he wants to go all he wants to. But if there's not a market for him to get a long-term contract.
Now, I didn't want to stop it as much because I wanted y'all to hear what this man is saying. How would he know the shit that he's saying?
Exactly.
He's saying things emphatically like there is no market for him to get a long-term deal. And remember when I said, what if I was a GM or owner and knowing how much of a fanboy Stephen A. Smith is?
Exactly.
You know how easy it would be to invite this boy to some of those parties and get him to say shit like he's saying right now to lower these players' contracts? GMs listen to what he's saying.
Exactly.
Why is he talking like this?
I just said that. I literally just said that.
This has nothing to do with the game. This is an NBA professional player wanting to trade. All he should be doing is discussing any team that potentially could have Kyrie. But no, what he's doing is He's talking about money. He's talking about what he should deserve. He's actually blaming Kyrie for the pandemic, saying that Kyrie is a headache. How? He's played 40 games this season. He's played hard. He's been killing. What else does man need to do? It's not his fault this situation happened. It's not his fault that this situation happened. Kyrie was injured, and then he got an infection in his leg. So yes, he's going to sit out when he's hurt, just like anybody else. Kawhi Leonard, Chandler Parsons, Paul George, any of them. Kyrie is averaging 27 and 5 with no Kevin Durant. Yeah, he going to dinner with the GMs and the owners. And then he get up there and talk like this, putting it out to the world. This was one of the best point guards to lace it up.
Facts.
And we're questioning whether this man deserves his money.
Facts.
Chandler Parsons has what, 116 million with one leg? We won't talk about that. He don't never go up there and say, this white man got his money and he didn't deserve his money. You don't hear nothing from Stephen A. LeBron James averaged that at 40. What the fuck does that got to do with Kyrie Irving? That don't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
But this man say he want everybody to get their money. He's not trying to take nobody out their money. But look at the way he's talking. This is taking somebody out their money. This is definitely taking somebody out their money, Stephen A. In case you didn't know it or not.
So, Stephen A., if you're a GM for some of the teams that we've talked about that have the space to trade for Kyrie Irving, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Heat, as some of those teams, would you do it? Would you make that deal?
It depends on what I'm getting rid of in return for his services. If I'm getting a superior basketball player, and in the midst of all of this,
Look at him. He's not talking X's and O's now. He's talking like a GM. He's coming up with a scenario where he's now a GM. So now
that's
he's
exactly
talking
what
contracts and based around Kyrie Irving. This is a sports analyst.
Is
Not qualified to do what he's doing.
I just said that.
But he's going to put it out there and he's going to talk.
I just said that.
He's going to talk NBA contract.
Yep.
With Molly.
Yep. I literally just said that.
that I'm getting rid of players and contracts that I don't want on my docket, sure. But that's entirely different, Malika, than making a long-term commitment in him. Because you're not obligated to do that just because you trade for him. He can talk about where he wants to go all he wants to. But if there's not a market for him to get a long-term contract, then he has to accept whether it's staying in Brooklyn or going wherever he ends up going. Because there's not a market out there for somebody that's willing to give him a long-term deal. That's the situation. He doesn't have the leverage that he thinks he has.
I'm looking at our news bar. It says that Kyrie has maintained interest in the Los Angeles Lakers. Before we let you go, Stephen A., your thoughts on a potential reunion between LeBron James and Kyrie?
Well, now they're talking around Kyrie going to the Lakers, and that would be one of the smartest moves that Kyrie Irving can ever do. Because if he goes to the Lakers, they'll leave him alone. They want the Lakers to win it anyway.
Well, we know that's not true right there because we all know that Dallas has Kyrie Irving now. So I'm gonna end it off right here, man. If y'all want to hear the rest of the video, make sure y'all go follow Kwame Brown Bus Life on YouTube and go check out his video. I just wanted to play a little snippet and him just pretty much exposing Stephen A. Smith, man. Why is he talking like a GM? Why is he giving GMs advice on how they should spend their money and how long they should sign Kyrie Irving to a contract? It seemed like he's literally trying to take money out of Kyrie Irving's mouth and his kid's mouth and his family mouth. It's sad to see, man. But shout out to KB. Make sure y'all go follow KB if you're not already. It's your boy DMD signing out, y'all. Peace.